from the Instagram account of the New York Post, which is not terrible, awful, despicable. They are not amongst the worst, but the bar is really low as far as the mainstream media is concerned. But they say, raw dogging a flight could kill you. Experts warn. Oh, the experts are weighing in once again. One of the most dangerous trends. Really? You really think this is sitting on a flight in silence is among the most dangerous trends? Not the cinnamon challenge or hold your breath or Tide Pod or milk crates.
What's his song name?
I'ma give you the world, baby girl.
It was at this moment that he knew. He f***ed up.
None of that. This is more dangerous. Absolutely wild. But my name's Eric. This channel is called Report and Opine. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm absolutely begging you.
I'm begging you, please. Come on, please.
Because it would help me a lot and cost you nothing. But if you wanted to help me even more and spend a little bit of money, you would buy my book, New York City 2020, Gotham Unglued, on Amazon.com. That link will be in the description. But they say, having a raw dog in this viral fight could be deadly. And this trend has been going around for a couple of months now, but I just figured, I don't care, right? If you just don't talk about it, if you just ignore it, it will go away. But clearly, it hasn't. Social media clout chasers are raw dogging flights with no entertainment whatsoever, in droves, making the bizarre stung the busiest travel trend of the summer. No music, no streaming, no sleep, just staring at the map on the seat back screen or nothing at all in silence. And that is what they want you to believe is one of the most deadly trends that just cannot be true. And I clicked the link in bio and read the article, and they somehow find a way to weasel in the idea that these people aren't going to the bathroom. So that's the deadly part. Oh, if you get on a 7-8 hour flight and you don't go to the bathroom once, that could be deadly. But nowhere in this headline, in this post, do they mention that these people aren't going to the bathroom, because I don't think that's part of the trend, but it doesn't even matter. And there's more propaganda in just the last week of the Instagram insanity. From USA Today, social media bans could deny teenagers mental health help. And it's always about the mental health. So people have been crying about the evils of social media, but when they're trying to indoctrinate kids, we better let that keep going because it could be deadly. They need mental health help that they're getting on social media. Most research suggests that some features of social media can be harmful. True. But for children of color and LGBTQ plus young people, it's a way to see themselves represented in society. So now USA Today wants you to know that if you have a child of color or a weirdo LGBTQ BBQ plus CIA agenda-driven child, then it could be mean and it could be hurtful, and they could be denied mental health help that they need, that they're getting on TikTok, apparently. Absolutely wild. The greater use of immersive social media, like the never-ending scroll of videos on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, has been blamed for contributing to the crisis. But a committee of the national academics found that the relationship between social media and youth mental health is complex, with potential benefits as well as harms. Evidence of social media's effect on child well-being remains limited, the committee reported this year, while calling on the National Institutes of Health and other research groups to prioritize funding for such studies. So there you go. Here's the bottom line. It's always all about money, right? And of course, about the people, the children of color and the LGBTQ young people. This is wild. You think at first, that's terrible. We need to get them off it. But when you find out why they're doing it, or why we're pushing these things on them, because it brings them a sense of identity, affirmation. So they're literally just telling you, like, this is how we're indoctrinating most kids, and we need to let this continue. Otherwise, people are going to realize that it's bad for them. And the caption says, or the quote, caption, whatever, social media's effects on the mental health of young people are not well understood. Debatable. That hasn't stopped Congress, state legislatures, and the U.S. Surgeon General from moving ahead with age bans and warning labels for YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. But the emphasis on fears about social media may cause policymakers to miss the mental health benefits it provides teenagers, researchers say. So the researchers, the experts, the academics, they want you to know that this is actually a good thing, but it obviously only flows in one direction. You wouldn't be saying that this could be good if TikTok was largely quote unquote conservative. And here's this is obviously not the last one, but I only have 3 tabs for this video. And this is from the Colbert Show. So if he wanted to pretend to be neutral at all, that ship sailed years ago, obviously. But it's Colbert in collaboration with one of these weirdo MSNBC reporters, and they are admitting that, yeah, everything's changed quite a lot from the last time we talked about Kamala. She was terrible, but we love her now. Why is that?
I interviewed her when she was running for president in 2020. I know you did as well.
Yeah.
She seems to have really grown as a candidate.
She's grown. She's so much different. We love her now. That's why. So they've gotten the memo that most people are like, wait, how could you do a complete 180 on Kamala Harris? And this is their explanation.
I always enjoyed talking to her, but she seems very comfortable in the top position. What do you think's different about 2020 Kamala Harris and 2024?
You know, there are a couple things. I would say one is she has clearly gained a lot of confidence as the vice president.
Yeah, because she got to the position she's in, but with zero work to show for it. So why wouldn't she be confident, I guess?
And I see that most acutely, most tangibly in her joy.
There we go. There's another buzzword. It's joy.
Thank you for bringing back the joy. She does it all with a sense of joy. Compassionate, careful, joyous leader.
And yesterday, what you saw is joy.
And it was the power of joy.
You know what I love more than anything? The joy. You can't underestimate the power of joy in this campaign. Don't underestimate the joy factor of this. They're going to bring the joy.
People were also just feeling relieved and telling me about how happy they were to see some joy back in the party.
And what we saw last night was this joy and this positivity. You have this happy, joyful, positive ticket.
The most remarkable demonstration of support, enthusiasm, joy.
This idea of joy.
Joy.
Being joyful is part of the American identity.
There is joy in the future. There is joy in having your boss be a black woman. There is joy in what is coming.
What we're hearing from this vice president, future president, is a message of freedom and joy.
I just love that we have this new joy.
You could see it just so filled with the joy of the work.
The fact that we saw that exuberance last night, that joy.
One is hope and joy, and the other is fear and anger.
Oh, you could really see joy and exuberance versus grievance and retribution.
People are tired of fear and anger, and so they're going to give to them the hope and the joy.
Oh, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, they're just so joyful. And J.D. Vance is weird. They get their talking points from the top down and just regurgitate them. And any semblance of Stephen Colbert on The Late Show pretending to be a comedy, a late night comedy show has obviously, I mean, it went out the window years ago, but they're not even trying to hide it anymore, which I guess you have to respect.
Like, I always knew she was a really joyful, funny person. And whenever I interviewed her or saw her on the campaign trail, which was a lot in 2020, you would see this difference when you interviewed her on camera, and she would kind of become more serious, and she would sort of play the role of...
She would be more serious? Or you mean she wasn't cackling in the middle of every sentence she spoke?
Why are conservatives bad, Mommy? Because I thought we were supposed to conserve things. I couldn't reconcile it. Now I can.
Okay, so this time...
Of politician more formally.
Yeah.
And what you see now is someone who is embracing her own joy. Now, that also happens to be a fantastic strategy as Trump is out there as the horseman of the apocalypse. The Walz-Harris ticket is full of optimism and joy, and that's a great strategy, but it's also who she is. And it's really, I think, quite lovely to see a woman having fun in politics. You know?
Jeez, this propaganda is through the roof. And this is just in the last few days on Instagram, the collaboration with Colbert and MSNBC. Then, of course, USA Today telling you that kids need more social media because that could help their mental health. And naturally, the New York Post telling you that just sitting on a flight in silence could be deadly.